Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Could you
Hi,
give me a little thumbs up in your webcam if you can hear me okay?
I can hear, but I can't see anything.
Okay. I'm going to be sharing my screen very soon. So
Oh, right, okay.
what I've done is I've tried to mute you all so that I don't have loads of stuff coming out of my speakers, but I've left Mike unmuted so Mike can tell me if things are not working and we can try and sort that. So
Right,
welcome everybody. We've got some last minute people creeping in as well. So we've got 22 people here. This is great. So good afternoon or good morning or good evening, wherever you are. Um, my name's Andy and I'm the sort of webmaster stroke IT person at Borders Family History Society. And I'm going to try and give you just a little demo of where we are with the website as of today. What I'll do is I'll share my screen and I'll just go through each page and explain how things are coming along there. Once I've done that, I'll stop sharing my screen and come back to this kind of view for myself to the chat window. And maybe if you have any questions, you could ask me through the chat. Let's try it that way rather than me having to mute or unmute people just to get you your questions verbally. So let me try sharing the screen first of all. Another thumbs up if you can see the website in front of you. All looking good. Thank you, Mike. So this is how the website's looking just now. This is the home page. It's quite a fast moving situation at the moment. It's changing certainly during working days, Monday to Friday. It's changing several times a day as we are adding text and the developer is adding little bits and pieces for us as well. So the way you see it today is probably not the way it's going to look in maybe 24 or 48 hours. But let me just talk you through what we have here. So the home page, and you can see we've got a nice new logo up in the top left-hand corner. This is our menu along the top just now. So home, about us, membership, events, shop, and contact us. I'll chat a little bit about this account thing in a second or two. The one thing that's missing from here just now is research, and that is going to be added on after we launch. Those who were listening at the AGM last week, you'll have heard me explaining about the difficulties we've had with our initial developer, how that unfortunately came to a not so great conclusion around about May this year, and we're actually working with a second developer now, and they have had to pick up the baton and develop this site basically in the last 8 weeks or so. So that is why we're not getting the research part in straight away, which will give you access to databases like monument inscriptions and things. It was just too much to ask our new developer to do that in the time allocated, and we're keen to get this launched. So there is going to be a kind of phase one and then a phase two, and a bit like painting the old Forth Rail Bridge in Scotland here, a website's a job that's never finished. You're constantly tweaking it and adding to it anyway. So let's just go down the homepage here. You have obviously a join us and about us. I'll show you these sections in a second. Nice three box thing where we can just have bullet points almost in here. We don't want too much text in these parts. And then it's divided up into blocks, you'll see. So there's a block here, just telling you about the history society. There's a news and events block. Now, this ties in, and I'll show you, to this events section. What it does on the home page is it shows you the two most recent events coming up. There's somebody else I'm having to admit just now. Um, and as soon as an event's passed, you'll see like I've got one for today, the 5th of October. That event will automatically disappear after today. So it kind of looks after the events itself. It auto updates if an event has passed, and then it will just shuffle in the next upcoming event into this block here. A bit like the events, the online shop part of the home page will just show the last 4 items which have been added to the shop. So it keeps the homepage looking nice and fresh if it's constantly updating to match the events page and the shop. We have a donate section here. So if somebody wants to donate, they can click on the button. And we haven't got any form of payment here yet because we're trying to get the payment system up and running. But people will be able to either give a one-off donation or possibly set up a regular monthly donation if they wanted to. So I'll go back to the home page, and then we have our footer, as you'd expect to see on any website, which has got our address. We just added the opening times on Friday there, and we've got the winter closing times as well. And then it's just a replication of the hierarchy of the pages down here. We've got our phone number, our main general info email address here, and some privacy policy terms and conditions documents in here, which are still being worked on. Links to our Facebook page, links to our X Twitter feed, and our OSCR logo for being a registered charity. So that's what the homepage looks like. And you'll see this top banner image has got little arrows either side, so you can actually scroll through the images yourself just by clicking on these arrows. Or if you were just to leave the web page sitting there on your computer, it would automatically start scrolling the pictures as well. There's somebody else coming in late. Okay, so let me go to the next one, which is about us. So again, it's split into panels as you go down. So just trying to get the points over about us. Bless you. We're going to tweak this a little bit, I think, because we're keen to get the message over that it's, although we're called the Borders Family History Society, we're happy to help anybody with any family research, wherever it is in the world. So if somebody wants to research their family roots in England or Wales or Ireland or elsewhere, then they can certainly come into Overhaul Street, and the researchers would give them a hand with that. A little bit about our research team here, a little bit about our history, a little bit about volunteering for the society. And we've already talked about possibly having a dedicated page in the future for volunteers, for volunteering, just to maybe explain a bit more about that and how people can volunteer for the society. A little bit about projects that we're working on, a little bit about the research rooms at Overhaul Street, and then a smaller donate banner at the bottom. So if you remember on the home page, I'd quickly go back to that. It's a slightly larger donate banner down the bottom here with featuring a couple of pictures just to kind of grab people's attention. But all the other pages have this nicer kind of smaller donate banner down the bottom. And then it's just exactly the same footer as well. So if we go and have a look at the membership page now, I was just tweaking this text on Friday. So we've got a little bit of text at the top about the key features of being a member, you know, what you basically get for your your annual sub and how many members we have all over the world, and a nice bullet point list of the advantages of taking out a subscription. And then we have our 3 plans. So this is very slightly tweaked from what's gone before, and this is going to, I believe, come into effect on the 1st of November. So you have a new UK overseas magazine by email as a PDF, £15 per year. You have a UK printed membership, magazine by post, £15 a year. So we're really not charging any difference there for these two. But the overseas posted magazine, where there's obviously significant postal charges, is going up to £20 a year. And I think council decided that this is going to come into effect. You can correct me if I'm wrong, Mike. It's going to come into effect on the 1st of November. So
that's correct.
We're going to tie in the hopeful live launch of the website on the 1st of November. So since the two things are linked, even if this kind of phase 1 of the website is complete, as far as the development goes, it's not going to launch until the 1st of November, which isn't too far away. So you've got these 3 various types of membership, and again, a nice bullet point list telling you exactly what you get for your membership. We have some nice testimonials here, which are basically all been lifted off Google reviews just now. But we can keep these updated. We have some nice testimonials in guest book as well, Overhaul, which we could possibly use. And again, we have the donate banner alert down the bottom and the same footer. So if we go into the events part, so you see I've put in 4 events. Now, the latest one, which was there on the homepage, which was about this meeting, let's go and see if it's disappeared actually. So there you go. So it has. Since I started this meeting, the event that I put in has automatically disappeared, so it shuffled the next 2 along. So here's the 4 we have just now, and these are real events. Mike sent me these by email on Thursday or Friday, so these are actual events that are happening. So we can use this for events to do with society, and some of them are to do with other historical groups in the borders. So we're not going to limit it just to events to do with Borders Family History Society. Anything of interest that ties in, we can put in here as well. And again, donate banner and the usual footer down there. If we go into the shop, now the shop is still under quite a bit of development. We have asked for some changes. The main one is we want to have a menu along the top between this text and the first items, just saying, whether it's monument inscriptions, whether it's past editions of the magazine, which people could order. So we want a kind of category menu, and I believe the developers are working on that just now. So it's not in just now, and we only have, 6 or 7 items in to start with. As it says here, we are starting small with the shop and building up its inventory over time. It was impossible to launch a shop with absolutely everything that is on our current sales list. It was just far too big a task for, never mind the volunteers, for the developer as well. For every item that we put in, we have to have a decent image, we have to have a title, we have to have a description. We're looking at revamping the pricing on some things. Eventually, there'll be a drop-down menu to say whether you want it as a hard copy, or some things will be available as a PDF. So there's quite a lot of work in getting items into the shop. So we're going to try and do it. My thinking at the moment is sales are maybe going to send me them in kind of batches of 10 or 20, and I'll start to add them, and eventually I'll train up people down at Overhaul, because unfortunately I'm in Edinburgh and Overhaul is down in Galashiels. So eventually the people who actually work in sales will be able to add the items into the shop, and we'll build up our inventory over time. So although it doesn't look like a particularly well-stocked shop just now, that will change as we go forward. And you can see we've got a thing here about members are going to get a 10% discount on any purchases from the shop, but you have to be logged into the website for the website to automatically apply that 10%. And the contact us page, we have a nice drop-down menu so people can decide what they're really contacting us about, whether it's a research inquiry, membership, sales, something to do with the website. So you can pick your contact. So if I was making a contact about membership, I would put my own email address in here, put the phone number in if you want, it's not mandatory, and then you can put your message in, press send, and it's going to go to the membership email address. So all the messages are going to be directed to the correct people. And down the bottom, we have quite a lot of details about Overhaul Street, the opening times here, winter closing, and a map that you can obviously change to satellite view or normal view, and you can zoom in and out of it as well. The account here, so if I click on account, I'm hoping it's remembered my details. Yeah, here we are. So I'm logged in. So in the account, you will be able to do things like see what orders you've made from the shop, see what your membership status is, and I'm hoping that'll show when your renewal date is as well. You'll be able to change things like your address if you move house, and it should be able to change your email address and everything as well. So members will have an area where they can go in and look after their own personal details. What else can I show you? Actually, if we go back to the shop, and I just pretend I'm going to buy something. So let's click on this gallery members. So here we go. Now, eventually, we may have a drop down here for hard copy or electronic copy, depending what it is. But let's say I wanted 2 copies of that, maybe to send as Christmas presents. Proceed to checkout. And then you would fill in your billing address. Now, we don't have the payment options here because we're trying to set up what is called WorldPay, and that's a system that we use for all transactions, whether it be taking out a membership or buying something from the shop. Basically, when you see it when it's actually working and in the shop, it just allows you to pay with your credit card, your debit card, or I'm pretty sure a PayPal account as well. So there's a lot more ways of paying for things now. But this isn't quite hooked up now, which is why you can't see anything here. But you can see I've got it in my order summary. And if I don't do anything with that just now, say I just come back to the home page, you'll see that up here beside my account, I've got a little basket now, and it's got my items in there. So even if I decided not to buy them today and I logged back into the website, say on Wednesday, these 2 items are still going to be there, just like you would be filling up your shopping basket if you were walking around the supermarket. So that's how we're looking just now. Nice and clean. You know, the idea is to try and have a as clean and uncluttered looking website as we possibly can. And I think we've achieved that. We've still got a bit to go. There's only really myself and Elma been shown how to do the editing in WordPress. This is a system that all website developers use now. So we're still kind of learning how to change things. Adding text and images is very easy, and we'll try and keep the images changing every few months just to try and keep it looking fresh as well. But that is how it's looking today. So if I was just to stop sharing that briefly, I'm not sure. Oh no, wait a minute, I can open up the chat here. There we go. So I've opened up the chat window. If anyone has any questions you want to ask me, please fire away in the chat window. I cannot tell you that, Elisa, unfortunately, because I don't know. I can certainly ask our developer whether it's like a membership plugin for WordPress. It may well be, but I can go and find that out for you. Thank you for joining us at 12:30 in the morning as well. Wow. So just in case people can't see that, Elisa is saying she's the web coordinator for GSQ, and they'll be redoing. Oh, it's Brisbane. I take it it's Brisbane Family History Site. So, thank you, George. Looking very modern and professional. Yeah, I think it does. It looks very nice. Or Genealogical Society of Old. Very nice. Okay. So yeah, I think it is looking quite modern and professional. And bearing in mind, as I say, the first developer let us down very badly. That is now in the hands of solicitors. I won't say too much more about that. So, what the second developer, who was second in our tendering shortlist, I should add, when we started this process almost 2 years ago, they have picked up the baton really well. And, you know, they only really started developing it in, I would say, the first or second week of August. And although we had a fair amount of copy, like text, and we had pictures ready and everything, they still had to design and build this website. So I think they've done very well in about 7 or 8 weeks. Yes, Gwen, hello, California there. We are looking forward to the research page as well. It is the most tricky part because it involves several access and Excel databases, and you know, the IT knowledge amongst volunteers is a little bit, it's not bad, but it's a little bit limited there. So we're having to pass all that over to developers, and then they come back to us with questions, and we have to tweak things a little bit. So it's unfortunate that it's getting delayed because it will probably be one of the heaviest used parts of the website, but I assure you it will be coming. Thank you, April. So I am recording this. You probably got a message because I realize that not everybody could make this meeting depending on the time of day, wherever you are. So what I'll do once this meeting's over is I'll edit down the little video it's creating and I'll find somewhere to host it, and then I'll get it up on Borders Family History Facebook page, and we can maybe even get it published in the magazine as well. I've given Mike a kind of statement on the website, which I know he's putting in the next magazine, which is just basically summing up what I told people at the AGM last week, letting them know the story of, you know, how we started this process, the year that we spent on it with the first developer, and how they let us down, how we picked up the baton and moved on to Plan B, and how we are right at this stage just now. So that'll be going in the next magazine for you all to read. Any other questions at all or comments? Oh, yeah, magazine will be out soon. Okay, it doesn't look like any more comments. If you do think of something, oh, thank you very much, Sandra. If you do think of something, you're more than welcome to email me at webmaster@bordersfhs.org.uk. You can just drop me an email if you've got any questions or queries or comments about this new website, and I monitor that email address every day, so I will get back to you as quickly as I can. Okay, folks. Well, that short and sweet, as they say. I wanted to allow half an hour to an hour, depending on how many questions there were. But that's great. Thank you, Mike. And hopefully, as I say, we'll be launching 1st of November, and you'll all have a nice singing, dancing website to look at. Okay, no problem, Elsa. Right, have a great day, folks, and I will chat to you later on. Cheers for now.